Greetings. This video is dedicated to films I've watched recently and films I'd recommend to you, my large and dedicated audience. So, first of all, we have Butley, an adaptation of a Simon Gray play directed by Harold Pinter. This tells the story of a self-destructive, somewhat nihilistic, outlandish professor of English literature. And essentially everything terrible that could possibly happen to this man happens just in one day. And the majority of the film takes place or is confined to his office that he shares with his colleague Joey, who he also lives with, his protege, a younger teacher at the university. I watched an interview with the one and only Alan Bates, who plays Butley, and he mentioned how often it can be difficult when taking a script that had previously been performed on stage and adapting it for the screen, for the big screen. How often an actor can be criticised for being over the top or somewhat eccentric or too theatrical, even though the actor is just staying true to the character. And he did say that can also be a problem when the script hasn't been on stage previously, when it's a script written specifically for a film. And I thought, yeah, that resonated with me, having seen many of Alan Bates' films. Georgie Girl, for example, his character in that is very animated, very outlandish, and he was quite right. He was just playing the character as the character appears on the page. But yeah, I'm sure actors do face criticism for seemingly being too theatrical. So yeah, Alan Bates, Butley, wonderful. Then we have a very different film, Daybreak. The story of a post-war executioner, a hangman, who lives on a barge with his wife, Anne Todd. And this was I was surprised. Anne Todd typically played very timid, shy characters like in The Seventh Veil, Madeline, very like mousy women. But in this, she's a bit of a blonde bombshell, actually. Very feisty, very independent. And every time Eric Portman, her husband in the film, goes away to essentially kill someone and get paid for it, this Danish helper who helps out on the barge slowly begins to seduce Anne Todd and sort of reel her in, entice her into this affair. And yeah, it's a fantastic film. It's a hidden gem, a noir. It says on here it's a noir classic, but I don't think it's a classic. Perhaps it should be. But this one slipped under the cracks, and if you can find it, it's fairly easy to track down on DVD. If you can track it down, I'd recommend it. Eric Portman was a fantastic actor. He often played villains, shall we say. And in this I mentioned this is a departure for Anton in terms of breaking free from the typecasting. The same could be said for Eric Portman, because he's certainly not this is not the kind of character you would associate with Eric Portman. Although he is a hangman, but he's not a villainous evil character. It's just his job. So those two, these two, completely. I watched them for the first time. Was not familiar with them until just recently. On the other hand, Sky West and Crooked, I had seen before, but I randomly found this VHS tape and bought it and re-watched it recently. Hayley Mills, one of my favourites. If you watch this channel, you'll know that. Hayley Mills, one of my absolute favourite starlets. Directed by her dad, John Mills. This was the first film he ever directed. Hayley plays a gypsy girl. Well, she's not a gypsy actually, but she gets taken in by the gypsies and becomes a gypsy. Falls in love with Ian McShane, who is the gypsy boy, shall we say. Made, I think, in Gloucester, somewhere in the countryside in Gloucester. And very much like Whistle Down the Wind, the youngsters in the film, the local kids, were all, none of them were actors, professional child actors. They were just local youngsters who were chosen to be in the film. So, and Norman Bird, who was in Whistle Down the Wind, appears in this. Jeffrey Baildon is the local priest. It's a very good cast of character actors. I think Lawrence Naismith appears in this, and well, I always think when you have good character actors in a film, there is a level of credibility that is guaranteed. And when I see Lawrence Naismith's name, I think, yeah, I'm going to enjoy this to some extent. When I see Leo McKern's name on a film, yes, to some extent I'll enjoy it. David Warner, Alan Bates. I think he even if the film isn't very good, if the script is weak, if the rest of the cast isn't up to much, if he's in it, then you've got a level of credibility, guaranteed. But this is perfect. Butley, I mean, this is perfect in every way. Alan Bates is at the centre of it. Yeah, so those are just a few films I've seen recently. I'd recommend them. Here's a film that arrived yesterday and I haven't watched it yet. If it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium. Don't know how good this is. Haven't seen it yet. But after being reminded of how good Ian McShane is, I decided to get this and see if I like it. Very different tone, of course. Almost forgot, before I go, The Entertainer. Tony Richardson, one of the Woodfall realistic dramas. Not a typical kitchen sink film. It's if you haven't seen it, it's about a sort of run-down, failing music hall entertainer, Archie Rice, played by Larry Olivier. Well, Laurence Olivier. He's not a personal friend, so I guess I can't call him Larry. But yeah, most of this was filmed in Blackpool, in Morecambe. Fantastic cast. Anyone who was anyone is in this. Alan Bates plays his son. Albert Finney plays his other son, who is a soldier and is sent off to war during the Suez crisis, and he dies in action. He's taken prisoner actually and dies. So it's a very brief appearance, but he is in there. Brenda Di Banzi plays his wife. Shirley Ann Field is the winner of a beauty contest in this film, and Archie Rice is the presenter of this contest, and they have a sort of an affair in the film. He's much younger, of course. Who else is in it? Daniel Massey, I believe Joan Plowright. This was her first film. Yeah, introducing Joan Plowright. Yeah, it was